Well, Kingston's got Hindustani, and it's exactly the same Civ matchup we saw earlier today.
That's true.
And Khmer really struggled there.
Yeah. Now, there were some aspects in that game where things weren't played all that well by Hera, but yeah, good point. And this is more Group C action. So, for those who've been following live, it's been Group C, and now Group C. So after this, Group C will all have been played for week number 2, and we'll have a really good idea of who's favored and who's not. But the goal for Kingston as a player who was promoted up from Gold League to Platinum this season is to probably just stay up here, right? Which means he needs to be 4th or better. And he lost 3-0 to Hera in the first round. Not something to really send the alarm bells off in his mind just yet, but I think against a player like Kapotch, he's got to at least get 1 win. I think Pete Kingston has the potential to get 2, but Kapotch, man, I mean, he 3-0'd Miguel, and anytime he enters a tourney, it's like his level gets higher. So it's going to be a pretty competitive series, I think.
He always shows up for the big matches, always.
Yep.
And he's never fully out of the game. You have to really work to kill him off. Kingston is looking for a woodline, or Kapotch is looking for a woodline, rather.
Yeah.
And he's going to find a safer one at the back there. Maybe he could send his vills to. He's taking the straggler trees at the beginning. Now, interesting thing about this matchup, Hindustanis are going to go for scouts. And they are going to go for camels later on. Like, it'd be very strange if they went for an archer play. Do you add the barracks early if you're Kapotch, or do you just house near your woodline so you can hop into it, and then play like full scouts yourself?
I'm glad you brought that up now, because it's a pretty in-depth conversation. I think what I'd like to see Kapotch do is I'd like to see him just small wall towards his woodlines and wait to see if his opponent's going to add archers. Because if someone small walls and you can't really spear pressure them, you oftentimes switch early into archers. And sometimes the trap is you might have, let's say, 4 scouts, and then you start to make the archer switch. If the Khmer player realizes that, they might go 7 scouts with an upgrade. Like 7 scouts in forging, and they might snipe your archers and snipe your spearmen. So yeah, I guess like I personally would just like to see Kapotch play comfortable here, play confident, go into scouts. And I think ideally he's going to want some type of lead going towards Castle Age, because Hindustani villagers only get cheaper. Their camels attack 20% faster. Like, there's just so many crazy things this Civ has. Kapotch will want aggression. Another thing to mention here about this map and just remind people of is that full scouts is even more viable than any other time you've seen this map, because the stone and the elevation, it does not extend to the edge of the map. The majority of Acropolis generations over the years have done so, where you could wall to the edge of the map. But since you can't wall on that downhill slope, rock terrain, if you were to full wall the top of your base, you'd have to do a full circle, which has just not been happening. So 6, 7, 8 scouts, I think Sito has done a really good job at that, or did that one game. It's definitely viable here.
Both games he played on this map, he played really well, right? Heavy scout production as well. And if you're Kapotch and you go, like you said, 7, 8 scouts, maybe get some upgrades on them, then Kingston is going to have to either match your scout number or overmake spearmen.
Yeah.
And your scouts will still be valuable in the next stage. I'm not sure his spearmen will.
Yeah, that's
so
a good
if you
point.
just keep running around, I think it plays in your favor. Also, you can get the food back pretty quickly with Khmer, assuming you have your farming eco up. Assuming this deer doesn't troll you for the next 15 years, because he's been trying to push this in.
Yeah. Hopefully Kingston won't run into the TC here. It feels pretty easy to avoid that on this map, because you know it's on the hill. And yeah, he won't. But it'll be good scouting from him to know where Kapotch is taking wood, because sometimes players will start with their first lumber camp on the hill, near their TC.
Yep.
So assuming he continues to go that way, he should find out that information. And maybe Kapotch quick wall? Garrison? Oh, no. Okay.
It's Kapotch. He's not.
Yeah, he's
He'll
not
beat him
interested.
later.
Yeah. I'd be interested. Like, sometimes what you can do against the players who small wall is you can go scouts, but you can tower the woodline. Like, that feels like a perfect woodline to tower. So it wouldn't surprise me that much if Kingston were to maybe send 2 villagers to do that. But so
It's
far,
even got
it's
a little nook
scouts.
there. It's like inviting you to tower it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and you can't really counter tower it either, because in order to range a tower back there, most likely you have to place it where your villagers are standing, and you can't surround the tower in that spot with 5 villagers. You probably only have 2, so... Yeah, Kingston's going to see the other wood line. Capwatch is... Oh, nope, never mind. He's not going to see it. I think he's confused, though, because that's a new lumber camp from Capwatch, so he knows there must be one out there. Capwatch is up, and Capwatch is actually adding a barracks, Dave, so we can make spearmen here.
That's smart. I mean, you're not fully utilizing all your civ bonuses, but you're showing that barracks to Kingston as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
Kingston will know. Maybe he just forgot that he was playing as Khmer. Maybe
first
we're
game
giving
of the
him
day.
too much credit here.
Yeah, yeah.
As he queues up Spearman, and he actually doesn't have enough wood for the stable yet. But
Damn.
the Spearman will certainly help against the stable opening here from Kingston. And
Hey.
there's the tower from Kingston instead of Capwatch.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the double lumber camp on that one wood line tells you Kingston's pretty committed to that area, but he is faster with the aggression here. And there he goes. And like I said, I don't think you can easily counter tower that. And 2 villagers instead of fully committing with 4 or 5 is a really good idea. I think you could just tower it, wall it up, and then run on home. And that's denying an important resource for Capwatch. And Capwatch's build order just bad here if he doesn't have the scouts out yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny, though, man. Like, how many times do we have this story with Capwatch? Someone's aggressive against him, gets a good position against him. But it feels like the longer the game goes, the stronger he becomes.
The messier the game gets.
Yep,
the
that
stronger
too.
he becomes. Like, if you're pressuring Capwatch and you want to finish him off early, make sure at home you're doing all the little things, right? You're walling in your villagers so he can't get counter raids, because he will burn you. He will burn you so badly if you leave any opportunities for him.
That's
We've
why
seen it way too many times.
That's why Capwatch versus MBL produces some of the best games.
Hilarious.
Because they're
yeah.
both so good in messy situations, and
Yeah.
normally it's one or the other. So, oh man, no small walls for Kingston. He did see the spearmen from Capwatch. He didn't see the scouts. He must know they're out there, but here comes
Honestly,
that
I
awkward
think
army.
like once that 3rd scout is out, I think you could justify getting forging here if you have a blacksmith up from Capwatch. He doesn't have it yet.
Oh,
That'd be
man.
really nice for the spearman. And he's got the hill advantage here, but still tons of spearmen there for Kingston. He gets some good hits against the scouts from Capwatch. So the army from Capwatch really not doing much.
Mm-mm. And the Vills are going to help, make this fight go towards Kingston's direction here. And what it was there, Capwatch had to react. He had to garrison villagers in a house because there was scout attack from Kingston. So good work from Kingston to defend. I love that tower again. He's actually even mining the gold there. Okay. That's pretty cool, actually. That's a nice little spot. Little risky, but Capwatch just making spearmen. So maybe the early archer play that we talked about will be really realistic here for Kingston. Does he know about that woodline, Dave? He's still... Oh, no. He's seen the woodline on the right. Capwatch even made a new lumber camp. So that's 3 total lumber camps for him so far this game. Spearman v. Spearman in Kingston's base. Kingston adding the range at home, and I'm really liking the position here for the Mexican.
Got a solid economy too.
Yeah.
Horse collar in, adding in his farms, and tracking the spearman, of course. And he knows the scout number is pretty far down for Capwatch. He's been tracking him this whole time. He killed the scouts earlier. And Capwatch does have Khmer farms, which is slightly worrying, right?
Yeah.
Occasionally, if the Khmer player doesn't want to go into a fast castle approach and you stop making spearmen, suddenly they show up with like 6 or 7 scouts. It could be very concerning, especially if they add another stable. I don't know if Capwatch is going for that approach now.
I'm laughing because Capwatch has 9 spearmen and he's queuing up a 10th right now.
And he's
got
killing the
so
scouts
many.
from Kingston. Like he's actually just going full spear here with Khmer.
Oh, and
That's
he's got
wild.
Kingston so distracted, and Kingston losing those scouts is so
Might lose
bad.
an archer here too. He might lose the archer to the scout.
No way. Archers will survive, I guess, and the spearmen will slowly get whittled down. But man, if Kingston had those 3 scouts with the archers he's creating, that's a devastating army composition. But suddenly, Capwatch adding more scouts. He knows the archers are coming out, and he knows his opponent has mainly defensive spearmen. So if those archers ever move out across the map, I bet you Capwatch is going to be hunting those down with the scouts. Just like a really
so many spears. Dude.
crazy game, yeah.
We were talking about MBL, and the energy has been summoned here.
Seriously.
Just a bazillion spears.
But there is something to be said about the style because it makes your life a whole lot easier if you just go food wood, right? You don't have to be. Yeah, you also don't have to micro spearmen and scouts in the same way where you hit and run.
And there's the cavalry armor. Really, I would have thought forging would be much better here with 11 spearmen.
Well, to be fair, does he
scouts.
really have 11 spearmen? 205 HP out of 495
they
possible
can still
HP.
poke, bro. They can still poke.
Yeah, he's like, we'll save forging if you guys earn it. If you guys survive, we'll give you forging.
And there's the other stable. So this is what I was talking about. Sometimes the Khmer player is just kind of stall out in feudal age and keep the scouts producing, get all the upgrades, and let his opponent come forward and then just collapse on him with a bazillion scouts. And it's going to be really, really hard for Kingston to keep this under control.
Yeah,
he did wall in the scout at the gold, though, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah,
out.
first game against like a seasoned pro like Capwatch doing stuff like that. But Dave, there's just so many scouts, so many upgrades, and this little army, this archer spearman army, it's just too weak now at this stage of the game. Like, if that moves forward, Capwatch is going to pounce on it. He'll have forging and he'll have armor. And this scout play is perfect for the Khmer. Still, obviously, is dangerous playing scouts long term against the Hindustanis, who can go for the camels. So you got to get some value from these scouts. And Capwatch is choosing to loop around, it seems, and go to the main base of Kingston. But Kingston's scared.
Needs to be,
I think.
Yeah, he needs to be cautious, dude. He's going forward right now because he only saw the spearman with a scout that was patrolling there, but he has to be wondering where the main army is. He saw at least 4 or 5 scouts with upgrades previously, and those are going to go right into the farming eco. I think if you're Capwatch, the farming eco is a good hit here because there's probably spearmen on the wood line.
So good from Kingston, though. To acknowledge that the scouts didn't stay home and move forward immediately was great. And also outpost at home and save your gold miners. So he now is protected from those scouts temporarily. Obviously, things could get out of hand. Still laughing at those spearmen, man.
Does he get the infantry armor for these? That's the question. So many of them are... Put him in the TC if you're not going to use them. Like, heal him up.
The Capwatch goes for a villager pick. He runs into the town center. I don't really think it's worth the loss of HP there.
No, it's not. It's not. He did get 2, and he is distracting him. He's going to kill the spearman there, but then gets cleared up by another one. He is engaging against the archers, though. And the archers really struggling to maneuver behind those buildings. I saw a couple misclicks there from Kingston. And that army is going to get cleared up. But the spearman count is down to 4 for Capwatch.
Scout count obviously pretty high for Capwatch. But, you know, we have Kingston on the way to the next stage. So at the end of the day, Capwatch, he killed 2 villagers.
Very concerning position, though, for Kingston, because he could get overwhelmed before he gets there.
Yeah. I mean, it's especially concerning on that wood line. You need to be walling in your wood line at least a little bit here, I think. I mean, he is adding more spearmen. So the timing here will be fascinating. If he could just hold on until he can make a few camels. But, oh, lots of scouts are on the way. Capwatch losing that one. Little messy, but he's probably at home producing more. Now Kingston's adding some walls. So he sees it and expects it. Capwatch didn't go back to the wood line. He seems to be heading over to the golds. I think I'd prefer that if I were Kingston, though. Like, you could just pull the villagers off of gold temporarily. Wood you need all the time.
He has found the scout at the back, but the spearmen are going over there, and now the spears are there to react to the scouts. And scouts can make do against spearmen and castle age, but once the camels come out, that can almost match their speed, it's going to be really, really difficult for him to continue an all-in style of play. He does have more scouts looking at the wood line, though, and he's completely outrun the spearmen. So he's using his mobility well, and it's not easy for Kingston. However, he hasn't lost anything just yet.
Yeah, just yet is right. Like, those scouts can go to those farmers that are pretty far away, but and Kingston's defense has been really impressive here, but Capwatch is going to drop a tower there. Does Kingston see that, and can he do anything about it if he sees it? It feels like he needs to send the archers there.
Yeah. Towers positions on forward resources with scouts to catch the vills running away.
Yeah.
Really, really tough to save your eco, and we'll see what Kingston decides to do here. He could maybe even... Oh, he doesn't have a mark and he doesn't have stone, so he can't even drop a TC to counter that or anything. He's going to lose more villagers that were weak before. No, he saves them.
All right.
Finally, the camels are coming out.
But, you know, this is the type of game that you want if you're Capwatch. You want it to be open. You want it to be scrappy. And it's also the same with his Civ, the Khmer. He's got 14 scouts. And though he hasn't killed villagers, it feels like he could at any time. And the villagers, they're running to the left, but the camels are there. Clearly, he wants a TC over there.
He wants to buy a TC.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to... Look, he's only making the market with 2 vills now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while, and he'd need to sell wood twice to... No, he's on gold now, so he'd need to sell wood to buy stone.
What a great game, though.
rough.
Like, the spearmen are going to protect the golds. A new wood line's going to be found, and that's actually going to be a great TC because you see the gold and the wood line. Capwatch also tried to kill the villagers on the front. Kingston had saved those guys in the tower. That's something that I'd missed on, and just so much potential for both players in this game. And there you go. He sold some resources to buy the stone. TC will absolutely go up there, though.
Scouts? Okay, there's too many villagers there for the scouts to stop the TC. Capwatch still looking for the vills he saw here earlier. And now he sees the gigantic army of spearmen. He nopes right out of there. He actually got the infantry armor on the way up, too.
Look at Kingston's defense, though. You got more scouts looping in on the farms, 2 camels there. He's just defending everywhere. Now, okay, now he might lose the villagers. And he's going to save the villagers at the tower? Well, no, he's going to wall in that 1 scout, though.
Yep.
So that guy's going to die at least.
Dude, we have 17 scouts here from Cap. Well, less now.
Less now,
Right to those spearmen.
Less now.
He's bringing them back to the archers. 17 scouts. Instant light cav upgrade. Husbandry as well, making these scouts even more annoying than they previously were. And the villager count is still in Capwatch's favor right now.
Yeah, Capwatch will be able to drop TCs if he wants to. Remember, he probably doesn't have the best of tech trees. Yes, he's got Arbalest, but no Thumb Ring. Yes, he has Knights, but no Paladin. More of an Elephant Siege Civ. And what a great clear up from Kingston. He will hold here and take out the archers that could have taken out his spears. And he did react on his TC on the left as Capwatch just now knows it's there. I think that's the important part about that. This is a great game. Both guys, I know like in some previous sets, you had like one player warming up, other with a weird decision. These guys are both playing amazing to start off this series.
I like Capwatch's position a lot more, though, I think. I think the Civ for Kingston is good, but Capwatch has just had an untouched eco behind all of this for so long. And he's got all of these light cab, too. With the ability to switch into Knights, switch into Pikeman.
Like, one mistake from Kingston, and he loses 10 vills. That's what it's felt like for a long time. He's only lost 3 this game. Let's see if he garrisons on the left. He garrisons on the left. Well done. Now, Capwatch realizing there's not enough room for all the vills, but Capwatch losing light cap to those camels. Now, on the TC on the right.
Lost 3 villagers.
This is crazy.
Yeah, how on earth? Like, Capwatch has used his mobility so well.
Yeah.
Kingston is keeping his villagers alive somehow.
And 2 of them, it's worth noting, were the villagers that were forward. So it's not like he even lost that many villagers at his actual base here. Crazy. And the army count's 21 to 21. It's 77 to 78 population. This game is very close. Capwatch on 2 TCs. As you mentioned, though, Dave, the eco's been untouched for Capwatch, and that's valuable. And I think it allows him to continue to run in and out and try and decide on when to take the fights. And Kingston's going to eventually need to get some type of a counterattack in. And even still, it's going to be with camels. You can't really kill fast with camels.
Do you want to see, like, Pikeman added in here from Capwatch? Or is it just more Knights and then you take the trades, maybe add in some monks, which he's doing right now? Or do you want to see, like, a forward siege workshop on that TC? On the left.
I think with the numbers that Capwatch has right now and his style, I think that he'd be more than comfortable with just adding the TC. But there is a world where Pike Ram on the back of this night push makes a lot of sense. It's just if you don't add the 3rd TC, when you haven't killed that many villagers, then Kingston will pull ahead. So there's the counterattack we're asking for, Kingston. Man, this is a classic Acropolis game.
Spearmen get absolutely nuked by those knights. Here come the camels, and camels can't really raid under the TC very well.
Also,
Knights
you don't want to be fighting
a better
uphill.
job. Yep.
I love how both players have realized, even with camel v knight fights, that they could take it. Like on the left side there, Capwatch had the numbers. Kingston ran back. Now you've got a nice little fight here. I think it's actually pretty good for Capwatch, but Kingston gets a lot of kills at the same time, so maybe not. 15 army for 15, 70 villagers for 70. This game is so close, but you know, Capwatch still hasn't really taken many raids. He's getting relics in right now, but there is a question of now that the army numbers are similar and there's so many camels, what do you make?
Difference. Yeah. It's really rough, right?
Especially another stable coming out for Kingston, so the production will only get higher. He is also continually making archers, which is very confusing to me. But I think it's because he's expecting pikemen.
And there's the pikeman switch from Capwatch.
Yeah.
Queuing up spearmen from 2 barracks now to counter the camels, and Kingston's going to be ready. He's going to have the archers. He'll get the crossbow upgrade when he can afford it. And he'll be ready for the pushback from Capwatch. Capwatch now raiding on the right side. And again, Kingston noticing it. Right away, he has still only lost 4 villagers this entire game. And Capwatch has been in his economy the entire game, it feels like. So, really good stuff.
It's like 3 or 4 groups at a time in some stages, too. I wonder if Kingston knows he's still making archers. Is this a control group thing? He's got archers in his TC. Okay, he sends them out now. If he knew, he'd probably be clicking crossbow. He might have even verified. No, he didn't see the barracks on the front when he had gone forward there. But there's definitely a level of game sense here where you just know the camels are starting to work. Your opponent's got to go for something else, and that something else is going to be pikes. And the knights are back from Capwatch. Kills his 5th villager of the game only. And still the population... Guys, the population's been tied for like the last 20 minutes. This is so cool. Lovely Age of Empires game.
And where are the crossbows? Soon to be crossbows. Here they come. Capwatch is going to hate to see that.
Yeah,
He
seriously.
hasn't seen any archers all game. And then suddenly he's going to see a big group of crossbows to counter his pikemen that he just teched into.
Yep. The other thing about Pike Knight is you kind of need it together, and you kind of need it with Siege, because you can't push Eco with Pikemen. You can only push Eco with the Knights. But there is a Siege Workshop for Capwatch, and he's sitting there, and we're going to see a quick conversion there for Kingston. That's not the first one he's gotten either. And now the crossbow move out, and Capwatch is like, what? The monks are going down, the pikes are going down, and this is crazy defense from Kingston.
Pre-countered.
Wow!
Great gameplay from Kingston. The timing on there was excellent. You're like, why is he queuing up archers? This is why he was queuing up archers. Yep.
Dang, man. So many, like, a lot of players do not do that. They do not queue up archers over that long period of time. They prefer to just not produce for a while, and then they make, like, the 2nd and 3rd range. But that one range has gotten value here. Look how many monks have died. Look how many pikemen will die. Capwatch kind of running out of answers right now. And we could see a castle drop for Kingston forward on the back of this. He could also go for a defensive style as well. He's got so many opportunities here.
Coming forward with even more camels. Using them really well to protect his crossbows. Also sniping down all the monks, all the pikemen. KD is going to kind of get out of control if Capwatch keeps fighting with this comp. And he's still going into more pikemen here, Tristan.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, I don't know, his Siege Workshop as well out of position. Kingston knows where that is.
Well,
Kingston now goes for a castle.
It's very similar to the feudal age fights we talked about before. Crossbow camel is
this
so
fight?
much more technical and hard to control.
Yeah.
And if you just like spam farmers, spam villagers, spam pike and knight, it can work really well if one bad fight is taken. And that was kind of an example of a bad moment there for the camels. But Capwatch shouldn't be advancing into this fight either. So both players take horrible fights as Ballistics comes in, and you could tell Kingston just kind of knows what Capwatch is going for. He's dropping a castle in the spot that Capwatch is now going to try and castle drop.
Capwatch is like, try and stop me. And Kingston's like, try and stop mine. Mine's going to be up before yours. Capwatch immediately deleting that castle. He goes for it even further forward. Capwatch does have the military numbers to keep pushing here. Maybe the crossbow's doing a good job sniping the pikemen, and the TC is there in support. Now the castle is up. Capwatch is YOLOing onto this castle foundation. But Kingston has a larger army now.
And he's got crossbows that'll have ballistics, so they're not going to miss the shots. So Capwatch just tosses the knights, and he's like, come on, villagers, build faster. I'll sacrifice my lives for you. What a great job from Capwatch there.
Wow,
him getting this
what a
castle up gives him a shot in this game still when it didn't look like he was going to have it. And again, 132 population versus 135. It's so close. The whole game, the population's been close. This is insane.
And that castle is so annoying for Kingston because it splits his production buildings on either side of his base. So it's going to be really, really tough for him to group up. He doesn't have a castle up on the plateau. He's got one on either side of that. And he's not yet up to Imperial Age, so he can't really trap it down. Kapwatch has gotten himself a fantastic position here. And again, his economy behind this, perfectly safe.
Yeah, and just continue with Pikeman Knight. Just continue to do it. You're going to find good fights on occasion. Ram down the range if you can. That's a decent fight here for Kapwatch. I don't know where he's going with the villagers, though.
He wants production buildings up top. He wants stables up top.
Well, I mean,
there's no room.
There's a lot of things I'd like in life, but I realize they're not realistic for me. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess your eco might be untouched at home, but if you bring it forward, it's risky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like maybe a castle where that archer range is for Kingston, and he could just stop
still like
his potential, but it's still such a close game.
Look at what you've done, though. You forced Kingston he was thinking about Imperial Age.
Yep.
He was setting up his castles, and now you forced him to all-in castle against you.
And look at the food
because he can't
count.
afford to not.
Like the best, the best thing to look at to know if someone's struggling with pressure is how much they have on wood and food. Because Kapwatch is 52 on food. He's now on the way to Imp. And Kingston had 60 on wood, 20 on food a moment ago.
Yeah.
Dude.
Kingston now selling everything to buy stone, and he's going for a castle up on the plateau, but Kapwatch is up.
Wow, that's ridiculous. I mean, if I'm Kapwatch now, though, first off, I think I'm very happy with this fight. You know, Kingston probably adding those farms, doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
But you raid the sides with your initial army as you mass those trebs in the middle, and there's so much potential. You've got a converted Gulam on the right side from Kapwatch. That will kill Vils.
There's Gulams in the back from Kingston trying to raid Kapwatch. He's got his waypoint set there from the castle.
Yeah.
But the TC is able to deal with those. He's also trying to raid on the left side, denying that TC. Knows where that is from Kapwatch, but Kapwatch is 1 minute and 40 seconds away from Imperial Age. He's got 24 pikemen. Still has the food trickling in. Well, not trickling. Kind of being injected right into his eco. And Kingston is not yet up, so...
the quick walls from Kapwatch on the left to complete that TC on the gold. The only thing I could say is that there is that one Gulam next to where the main TC was. That's killed like 5 Vils. Kapwatch hasn't seen that, but it looks like Kingston's moved him around. Dave, Cavalier opening could be devastating to Kingston. He can make camels, but he doesn't have many of them right now. And there's 17 knights for Kapwatch. Imp upgrades matter a whole lot here.
You also have 24 pikemen.
Yeah,
do you get Halb
true.
or do you get Cavalier? I mean, Halb is more expensive, right? So
I think you could,
Cavalier is probably better.
You try and, get some big raids in with the Cavalier. You use some gold and wood to make trebs from that middle castle. It's his only real castle. And again, you do that on the sides, and then you keep the pikemen in the middle. And Kapwatch now, he's sending knights in on the left. He's got the knights on the right. See, that's a fight he can win with these upgrades. He's had full blacksmith upgrades already for a long time. And Kingston's on the way up, Dave. He's got 144 Vils. You could tell under this pressure, though, he's probably over booming. You need to stop creating villagers around this amount.
He's balanced out his eco quite nicely, though.
Yeah, he has. Look at the idle time. 3 hours, over 3 hours for Kingston because of reacting to all the raids. Only 42 minutes for Kapwatch's eco. That's crazy. Maybe not the time to fight, though, if you're Kapwatch. He doesn't have his upgrades yet. That's
Bro,
that
that
Kingston's
Gulam is
distracted. Oh,
Bro,
man.
that Gulam at the back is still going ham.
Yeah, true.
14 kills now.
It's
14
true.
kills. Oh, my God. Oh, my. And it will kill again.
I mean, if Kapwatch doesn't look back there, that could be an issue. As he's trying to make trebs and go for rams to push the left side of Kingston's base. Kingston's population and Kapwatch's population still even. It's still even. What is this game? This is an incredible Acropolis game. Hey, remember,
Dude,
Kingston's got 3 castles, so if he can hold on, he's good, man.
That Gulam is single-handedly keeping Kingston in the game. That is 18 villagers down now.
Okay, the pikeman will hopefully kill it. No, it's a weak pikeman.
There, he notices, though.
Okay,
Maybe
yeah.
another one. Maybe one more. Maybe
Right.
he'll run out of the range of the TC and back into safe area.
Here come the pikemen. Look at this from Kingston. He knows those pikes are an issue right now. So he's trying to block them off with these gates and houses. That is such a sick play. Because if that army were to get through, he cannot deal with it with simply just the camels. But the camels
He could
can
actually
deal with things
wall in
elsewhere.
all of these pikes if he's paying attention.
Look at this. He knows he's going to be raided again, and he's got that other group of camels just waiting. Catpoach has got to be like, what can I do to win this game? I've been raiding this guy nonstop in Feudal Age, Castle Age, and Imperial Age.
Yeah, welcome to everyone else playing against you, Catwatch.
Yeah, seriously.
You're getting a taste of your own medicine here.
Oh, I mean, Halberdier upgrade is in for Catwatch. As again, the populations are still very close. We won't have heavy camel. We don't have hand cannons. We don't have any of these things that Hindustanis want just yet. And I think Catwatch has got more gold and stone control around the map right now, especially with the castle on the right side. And again, great micro from Catwatch. Pulls the halbs away, sends the cav in. And another castle for Catwatch in the north. That's one Kingston has to try and deny, I think.
Yeah, he's sending over the Ghoulims. He's sending the Ghoulims. He's got camels there. He's even attacking the foundation with villagers. And more camels on the way. This castle will be denied, 100%.
But in the middle, Kingston could lose his castle because Catwatch is pushing there. And the conscription's on the way. Kingston will probably bring the camels and Ghoulims right over to deal with this. Remember, Ghoulims aren't really that great against Halb or Cavalier. They're not good in melee engagements. And now Kingston goes for his own castle, but he just left with his army here. So he could lose villagers.
19 villagers. Catwatch has 19 villagers. Now sending the Halbs. This castle's going to be denied from Kingston.
Oh, God.
The only thing saving that castle from maybe not being denied is the outpost, blocking it off a little bit.
I think both castles will go up, but Catwatch is still pushing the middle then, and he's still got army around, and Kingston is finally breaking a little bit. This is a ridiculous game. Great pressure from Catwatch, non-stop pressure, in fact. And it's just more halbs. He's got more Cavalier queued.
Stone, it's still alive.
What is happening, dude?
It's dead, though. It's dead. Surely it's dead, right? Surely it's dead. He can't keep selling to buy stone to keep that alive. Once that's gone, the army can just run in for free. And behind it, Cavalier killing more villagers.
Wow.
And he calls the GG. What a crazy first game. Fantastic.
That was, I mean, if you like Acropolis, that's why, right? So many different mobility options used in this game. And truthfully, I mean, I feel bad for Kingston because what more does the guy got to do to win? Right? Like, he defended from so many different attacks. And then, you know, he got some raids in with the Ghoulims. And obviously, Catwatch could have maybe reacted that one a little bit faster. But even still, Kingston got the kills there and couldn't get the victory. But, like, maybe that's the theme of it all is, like, even though Catwatch wasn't killing Kingston with those attacks, it was still the same conversation of Catwatch is attacking. Catwatch is asking the questions of Kingston. And, you know, his eco is untouched, which you can see with the food economy more than anything. 29,000 food collected. That's also the Khmer bonus. Kingston, more of every other resource, though. What a game.
So Khmer win. You were wrong all along.
Yeah, seriously. Apparently, Khmer are just amazing. But, again, it just suits Catwatch's style. Make a ton of armies, spam a ton of farms, make it messy, and forget about tech switches. You know, I wonder if maybe Kingston should have not gone for the Ghoulims. Like, it does cost golds. He was never really able to get elite. But, you know, at the same time, I feel like he needed something instantly, which is why in his mind he felt like making the Ghoulims would work, as opposed to, like, crossbowmen still, because you don't get arbalest, and I guess any other option wouldn't have been quite as immediate. But yeah, Catwatch, dude, I'm so impressed with Catwatch. Like, players like Catwatch just make the game so fun to watch. Sick stuff. Thanks again, everybody, for watching this cast. If you didn't hear in the video, this was actually part of a full series. And what I typically do is I have the best individual games go to the YouTube channel. That way you know if this video goes up, it's going to be a banger. And then the full series I will have on my second YouTube channel, which is called T90 Extras. We make it really simple for you, though. Anytime I do this, in the description, there's a link that you can click if you want the full thing. So, once again, if you want the full thing, check the link in the description, and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching, guys.